Frequency Radio.
Astronauts to the moon.
Yo. I'll tell you what that text.
10, 9, ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Not to get off track here, but I feel like we're in the Truman Show. And we're in a snow globe and we just shook it up.
Welcome to reality.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Jeranism Monday Night Raw, your current, reigning, and defending #1 show on True Frequency Radio on Monday nights between the hours of 6 and 8 p.m. Pacific. That's 9 to 11 Eastern. I'm your host, Jeran, the creator of the very hated Jeranism YouTube channel, where I create lengthy and thought-provoking videos and live streams. And my co-host tonight, and most nights, is the creator of the DITRH YouTube channel, which is mostly 1-minute and 2-minute videos, created in about 4 or 5 minutes, consisting of slightly less information, but easier to digest tidbits of genius. He's the one and only David, the man with the plan, Weiss. David, how are you, my friend?
I don't know which one is mute. Is this mute or not mute?
No, the cough that you decided to perform at the beginning of the show, that was not on mute.
I'm so dyslexic, I don't know which one is mute, so I'm assuming this is not mute. Sorry about that.
That's all right. We just so everybody knows, that was not me. I know.
I would say I'm doing fantastic, but I guess I'm just a mess like every day.
That's all right. That's all right. We'll get over it. Last week and this week, Dave, I called you the man with the plan, and I didn't get to expand on that at all. Do you know why I called you that?
I don't know. Do tell.
Okay. Well, the reason why is pretty simple. That every time I've heard you say you want to do something, you do it. So you wanted to set up a billboard for the Flat Earth Conference. What'd you do? You went out, put the information together, did the image design, and put up a billboard. And then you said, you know what I would love is I would love a Flat Earth clock app. What'd you do? You went and had it built by some man in India. What's his name again?
I call him Haji, but that's
Haji.
racist. His name is Rampreet.
It's not racist. It's just stereotyping. It's not,
Stereotyping. Okay, very good.
You said that you wanted to get on with Owen Benjamin, and you contacted him many times. You got into his super chats. You sent him a package to his house, and eventually you got on the show with Owen Benjamin. So to me, I don't know, man. Anyone who ever called you a shill, I'd punch him right in the face. Just
Thanks.
You're welcome. No, because anything that you want to do, you just set out and do it. So I think David, the man with the plan, Weiss, is the way to go.
I'll take it. Thank you.
Good. You're welcome. You're welcome. So I don't know if you got to hear Glowbusters yesterday. It was a quite interesting show. We started out with Bob going through a video from Simon Dan, who
you mean the #1 recommended channel after any good Flat Earth video?
After any video, you'll always see a Simon Dan video.
Yeah.
In this case, he proved that he is not a Simon. He's not a science man. Talking about the inverse square law and getting it completely wrong, saying that the inverse square law does not apply to reflections when it absolutely does. So check that out if you want to hear that conversation, because we went through all the reasons why it certainly does apply to reflected light, because it's still light.
Just think about this. You have a spotlight which has to obey the inverse square law, which is every time you double the distance, it's a quarter of the light, right? That's the reverse way to do it. But if you shine it in a mirror or reflect it off of something, that maintains its intensity forever. Is that what he's saying?
I don't know. I have any idea. It doesn't
so
make
silly.
Sense. It's so silly. No, we're talking about the amount of light. So whether you're looking at a source light or you're looking at the light that's being reflected off something, that light being reflected obeys the same law, the inverse square law. So he just proved his ineptitude, and yeah, it goes off on me and Bob being clueless, and that's why I don't pay attention to any of those videos. But I'm always happy when Bob finds them and shows me, because it just shows why I don't listen to those guys. I don't want to listen to a channel that wants to tell me that that reflected light doesn't obey the inverse square law when it absolutely does, and all you have to do is just do a quick search on your Google search engine, and you will find out that truth. So,
Jeran, there was a time where you did watch all of those videos a couple of years ago.
Absolutely, there was.
You would, and then I'd be talking to you, and you would just be a mess. I'm like,
You're
why
right.
are you watching those videos? Why are you giving them your energy? Because no matter what we do, there's going to be ball earthers and flat earthers that we don't like what they're doing. There's nothing you can do about it. You can't stop them. Okay, so there's plenty of others that are doing stuff that we do like. So if everybody focused on what they like, there would be more of what they like.
No, I owe you completely, and I would actually say I'm much happier because of it. And I used to make response videos, and I would make Red's Rhetoric videos, and I would spend time in their chats, or I would spend time listening to their videos. And you're absolutely right. I was giving all my energy to that negativity, and I just have given that up in the last, I don't know, whether it's a year or so, and I'm much better off because of it. I don't need to hear that stuff, and if I do need to look something up, I'll go find something on Stack Exchange or something on Quora, and I'll read about what I'm talking about and try and get but to go to those guys who obviously do not want their mind changed. They obviously have no desire to learn the truth. They just want to keep spouting what they already believe, whereas I'm trying to learn.
Right, but occasionally going over there, catching a little nugget, and making a little response video is a little therapeutic. Just occasionally, just for a little fun.
I've heard people say that some of my best videos are my response videos, so I might have to do that a little bit more. And definitely with this Psyman Dan one, I do want to make a video that just points out that he's not a Psyman. He's not a science. I think he's supposed to be a science teacher. If this guy's a science teacher and he's teaching that the inverse square law doesn't apply to reflected light, then we all need to take our children out of schools, which you need to do anyway. Right. But anyway,
and I've said it many times where some of my best videos come from these ridiculous arguments from the Globe side.
Right.
Where I'll see it, instead of going just getting upset, I'll be like, I can make the opposite video. What I tell people is, if you don't like something, that's because you like the opposite of it. All right. So when you see something that you don't like, you swing the pendulum the other way, which doesn't rotate, by the way. And that's what you do like. So instead of focusing on what you don't like, take that energy and go the other way with it and produce what you do like. I mean, life is that simple.
It is. No, it's all mental. Every bit of it is mental, and if you constantly live in that fear and you're afraid of everything, and that's what they want. That's where they want you. That's where they catch you. But that's not the way I live anymore, and I think I'm a better man because of it. So thank you very much, David Weiss. David, the man with the plan, Weiss.
Man with the plan. Thanks.
Right. The other subject on Globebusters that I thought was very interesting, and this was right up your alley because I know it's something that you and I have disagreed on for quite a long time. And I would still say we disagree, but I would say I'm closer to your and Bob's opinion.
Bob is that stars are souls. Thank you for coming around.
No. You're going to have to go a ways on that one, I tell you. No, this is the one where Bob was talking about gravity needing to have an up and down, or it needs to be a force. You've said that. You call it the electrostatic force. I've kept going on and saying, well, no, I think we can do it with just density and buoyancy. But Bob brought up a great point, and I haven't been able to debunk it in my head yet or figure out a way to combat it, although I do have a few things to say about it. So here's the general argument in a sense. A lot of us say, me being one of them, especially before yesterday, that you only need density and buoyancy, and it's relative density, meaning that's what causes an up and down. There is no up and down. It simply depends on the medium in which it's in. But Bob brought up a great point about the fact that there is an acceleration. And if you have an acceleration, what I'm talking about with acceleration is if you drop something from extremely high point, supposedly it moves down at 9.8 meters per second squared. This is something I haven't tested myself, but I've always just put it into that category that I assume is true. But again, I'll have to reassess that. But basically what Bob was saying is if there is that acceleration of something moving faster and faster and faster, then there has to be some sort of force required behind it. Now, I think that that's a great statement, and like I told Bob yesterday, I'm going to have to look into this a little more. So the first thing I did was tune in to the Nathan Oakley live Flat Earth Debates channel this morning to hear him talk about it, and they did. They discussed it for about 45 minutes or an hour, and they completely missed the point simply because they didn't address the acceleration issue. They just kept going back and saying, yeah, but if you're in the water, something might rise in the water and because of the medium it's in. And I understand all that. That's a great argument. It's been my argument the whole time. But they missed the issue. So if anybody from Nathan Oakley's show is listening and they're going to be on tomorrow, please address the acceleration issue. I think it's quite important, and I want to hear the answer. But Dave, one thing that is true is supposedly these things gain speed as they come down, right? But if I throw a baseball as high as I can up in the air, well, the ball is going to leave my hand at the fastest possible speed, right? I throw the ball, it's moving as fast as it can, it's getting all the way up to the very top of its little arc, and then it starts coming down. So it slows up, and then it starts coming down and gains speed again as it comes down, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so that's kind of where I'm confused as to, well, certainly when we throw the ball up, it's not like it's a force, and it's moving faster at the beginning and getting slower and slower and slower it rises. So just because something is dropped from a high location and gets faster and faster as it drops, I'm not necessarily sure that is a force, because why doesn't it work the opposite way? For instance, when I throw a ball up in the air, why doesn't it go slower and slower and then faster and faster and faster? There's less atmosphere. No, it doesn't. If I throw a ball up in the air, it goes slow. As soon as I throw it, that's the fastest that ball will be.
Right. It slows down, and then it reverses direction and speeds up.
Correct. So is it more of a potential thing? Is it more of when you take an item up to the top of a building that you're building its potential? You're building its speed potential by rather than throwing it up in the air, you're walking it up the steps to the very top, and you're releasing it, and then it gains speed as it comes back down. So I still think there's a lot to discuss there. I don't think the subject is over at all.
You know how they tell us that gravity is a weak force? You know, the gravity that they believe in.
Correct.
It's a weak force. I think that there is a very weak force that establishes a down, as Bob was talking about, and it's this electric static potential difference, and these things can be measured. You can measure the voltage as you go up. So these are testable and provable things. So that's what I believe. Not it's just gravity. By mass attracting everything makes no sense.
No, it doesn't make sense. But I just conceptualize, and again, we're going to go into the land of the glober here. And I picture if you were out in space and you threw a ball at Mars. I thought that the way space worked is you throw the ball and it just remains at that speed unless something speeds it up or whatever. But I've never heard that if you throw that ball at Mars that it will keep gaining and gaining and gaining and gaining speed as it gets closer and closer to Mars. I've never heard that somebody say that. I thought that when they launch a craft somewhere, they launch it out of orbit at a certain speed, let's say 55,000 miles per hour. They launch it out at 55,000 miles per hour, and it stays at that speed the whole time because there's nothing adjusting its speed.
Doesn't it slingshot around planets and suns to gain speed? Or
that's what I need. I don't know.
That's what they tell us.
Land of make believe when you talk about slingshots around planets and stuff. But no, I need to.
Wow, I used to think that's amazing how they know exactly where that planet's going to be, but at the time the spacecraft gets there, so it slingshots and then sends it farther without holding on to it. That's amazing that they can do that.
Simply amazing. It's unbelievable. No, so I hope that they address that further tomorrow. That was, if you want to hear that particular debate, that was number 820 from today. This is the Nathan Oakley Show, and they talk about it, but they missed Bob's point completely. 100%. They didn't even talk about the acceleration, which was Bob's main point, which is the point that I listened to, and the reason I tuned in today to the Flat Earth debates, because I said, okay, they're going to address this. I want to hear how they address Bob's position. They talked about Bob's position and then went into a myriad of things that I agree with them on, but they missed the whole point about the acceleration. If there's acceleration, then doesn't that prove force? I still don't have an answer, but I want to hear theirs tomorrow. So that was debate 820, so people might want to check that out. If you didn't listen to that one, maybe you heard this morning's debate 821, which is the one that followed right after that. I was on my daily walk listening to the show, and one of the funniest things I've ever heard happened, they had a child, and I say child because this person could not have been older than 12 years old, join the panel. Let me see if people can hear this. I'm just going to play just a little segment of it. This is right when the person joins. Let's see here.
I'm going to say hello to our couple of new guests. Hey, Danny. Hey, Rare. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I'm sorry, but the Earth has been proven that it is round. It is not flat.
Oh, God.
Got a long way to go, kid.
I'm
long way to go, boy.
Actually round. If it was flat, we would be flat. We would actually be flat ourselves.
So if it was flat, we'd be flat ourselves. That's what he said. if the Earth was flat. So it's funny, and kudos to Nathan Oakley for actually doing a good job of having a conversation with this child who said he was 17. That child is not 17. The child is far, far younger. But that part was funny, but so was this. This was Nathan telling him that space was fake, and here's his answer for that one, which is good.
Space.
Oh, that's a shame. Space isn't real. Didn't you know that?
Space is real.
Oh, really? The space is
Yeah, it is.
asserted to be a vacuum, and we have gas pressure here on Earth. Gas pressure being...
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. But we also have space is real.
One of the funnier things I've ever heard. Yes, I got that, but we also have space is real. So anyway, if you want to check out that.
That is a #1 globe proof, by the way.
Right. And
Space is real.
He goes into things like asking, are you guys telling me that no man walked on the moon, no astronauts walked on the moon? And they tried to give him some information about that. And he just said, well, it's true because we have photographs of people standing on the moon. So this just shows you where the level of children is. But at the same time, hey, I was excited to have somebody like that who joined the call and wanted to talk about the Earth being flat. And hopefully he looks into it a little bit further and doesn't stick to claims like, well, space is real because we have space is real. So, and he says, well, there's satellite pictures of the Earth. And anyway, it's a great conversation. You guys will have to check it out. Maybe he'll join again. I don't know. That was Flat Earth Debate 821. That was from today on Nathan Oakley's 1980 channel. But it was hilarious. I had a good laugh listening to it as I walked. Definitely good times. So anyway, I hope tomorrow if they do they obviously will do a debate show like they do every day. And hopefully they'll address the acceleration issue that Bob put up, because that was Bob's main point, and that's the reason why I had to take a seat back and say, wait a second. I've always felt relative density answered all those questions, but Bob talking about the acceleration made me take a step back and say, okay, I got to look into this a little bit further. Tuned in to hear their opinion, and they didn't really cover that issue. So hopefully they cover it a little bit better tomorrow when I'll be listening again on my walk. David, you did an interview with Zoom Truth, correct? Got to hit unmute. It's part of the show.
Yeah, that helps. Yes, I did yesterday. Thanks.
Yes. Tell us about it.
Well, Zoom, Dave is the guy's name. He's an activist. He's out there. He does a lot of great stuff, but he really gets caught up in the troll comments and is very suspicious and calls everybody a shill. I'm a shill, you're a shill, Bob's a shill, and there's just a lot of he's not a shill. I'll tell you that. He's just really trying to do the best that he can, and he gets caught up in the negativity, just like we were talking about at the beginning of the show. And so we had a discussion, and basically I was talking about the same stuff that I was talking about at the beginning of the show, and he literally is doing a hangout right now that I think he's just ending because called
image you sent me.
Yeah,
very nice. Yeah, Zoom live now. My apologies to Globebusters, Dearth, Celebrate Truth, Robbie D, Paul on a Plane, Mark Sargent, Globebusters, and everyone on Flat Earth. I'm sorry, with a little heart. How cute.
So he actually has we were going to talk about in a little bit, but I say we do it in the next half hour. He's got a web application for flat earthers to find other flat earthers in the area, which there's a lot to discuss. But I invited him to come on, and at the bottom of the hour, if that's okay, we can jump him on Skype during the break, and
sure.
Let's talk about it with him.
Sure, or is it easier if he calls in?
You tell me. I got his Skype. You can connect right up to him.
Yeah, but I have to friend him and all that stuff. I don't know. I think it'd be easier if you can contact him, tell him to call 213-233-3998, and if you tell me his area code, then I'll know he's calling. But also, just to mention to everybody that we always take calls the second half of the show. So if you want to get in line to call us and have a conversation, whether you hate us or whether you like us, we'll take hate comments, all that you want. We've heard tons of them. There's channels out there calling me the devil, calling me a faker. I faked my ISS solar transit video, in case you didn't know, Dave. Spent all week, with my CGI artist, and created that so that I could prove that the ISS is real. I've been spending 4 years talking about this stuff just to prove to everyone that the ISS is actually real. So anyway, that's what they say. But anyway, if you want to get in line, if you want to call in, if you want to join us, the phone number is 213-233-3998. There's already a few calls lining up, so if you want to get on, you better call soon, 213-233-3998. And hopefully Dave from Zoom Truth. Is his name Dave?
Yeah, his name's Dave.
Okay, there's too many Daves. Get a new name. Man, why you get a cool name like Jeran that just very few people have. It's very, I don't know, self-fulfilling. But anyway, 213-233-3998. And if you want, during the break, Dave, text me his Skype information. We can just add him to the call, whatever's easier. I don't know. So, yeah, we can talk about that, and we can talk about his web application, which I saw this morning. I thought it was pretty cool, but we can talk about that the second half of the show. I just wanted to say a quick thank you to everyone that showed up for the Sacramento meetup. That was awesome. Lots of great people. It was a lot of fun. So thank you, Effie Mishka, Michelle, for putting that on and getting everybody together, and Caleb he was there, and there was just so many people there. It was a good time. Some people that showed up for the canal test that I did, where I proved the curvature of the Earth. They showed up again. And again, we all sat there and talked about behind the curve and talked about them misrepresenting my experiments. So thank you, Patrick, for showing up. Thank you very much, David. Appreciate that. And so anyway, that was a great time. Dave, one thing I did notice at that Sacramento meetup, besides Mishka telling me that I looked thin, which was the highlight of my day, by the way, probably the highlight of the year, really, but nobody's keeping track. But one of the things I noticed is there was a couple guys, and this guy's name is Dave too. So, man, there's too many Daves. I'm getting tired of it.
Daves and Nathans rule the flat Earth.
Oh boy, that's exciting. Yeah, so one of the guys, Dave, that was there, he sets up a table at a farmer's market in Davis every Wednesday, and I believe on the weekend too, but I remember specifically on Wednesday. And I told him, and he's like, oh yeah, everybody has a good time. Everybody talks, we conversate. He says there is a few, because I guess they set up near a college or something. So he says there is a few physics students that come by and want to argue. And I said, oh, well, do you show them the app? And he's like, well, what app? I'm like, Dave's Flat Earth, Sun and Moon, and Zodiac Clock app. And they act like they'd never seen it. And so I'm like showing people at the meetup, and a lot of people had never seen it before. So I think a few more people need to look into that. If you don't have the app, it's a great tool. Maybe you're a flat earther, and so you don't yourself need it. I mean, I'm a flat earther. I love it, and I check it out daily. But if there's some reason you don't want the app, that's understandable. Unless you're somebody who's going out and trying to talk to people at, these, I don't know if you want to call them flat earth meetups, or if you want to set up a table at a farmer's market, or you want to do any of this kind of stuff that Daryl Marble does. You got to have the app. So hope we didn't have Daryl Marble. He better have it.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing that we know how it works, but I like looking at it daily to see what time it is, because I can also see in the same glance where the moon is. And there's so many times where I wouldn't look up at the sky, but because I see it, I'm like, oh, the moon is over to the east, so it's over to the west. And I'll look up and I'll see the moon when I normally wouldn't see the moon. And everyone likes seeing the moon, whether you know it or not. It's fun when we see the moon. That's one thing. Just
don't look at the app during a new moon and email David any complaints.
Yeah, I still get the emails. If the app's not working, the moon's missing. I'm like, oh man.
The app has notifications now.
So
I turn those on.
Yeah, so the notifications, I try to send just one a day, and usually it's only been about explaining what the video is that's on there. So, hey, this is interesting. I'll click on it. Also, because I mentioned earlier that right after one of your videos or any Taboo Conspiracies video, YouTube suggests Simon Dan or one of the other Dr. Dave or Professor Dave, whatever his name is.
Always Bob, really guy or something.
Yeah, they're really good at steering. They're desperately trying to steer people away from flat Earth information. So you can't tell somebody go research flat Earth, because they're gonna get sidetracked. You can't even say go watch this one video of Jeranism, because the next video will be Simon Dan.
Mine usually the National Geographic piece or some news piece about flat Earth always follows my videos.
But what I've done on the app now is I try to put a really good video each day, short ones during the week, long ones on the weekend. But I've now done them in a playlist, in a relevant playlist, where after the person's done watching that video, the next video in the playlist comes up. So if someone new to Flat Earth and you convince them, hey, get the app, watch the one video each day, and in 2 weeks, unfortunately you lose all your friends and family because you'll be a flat earther, but it'll turn around. But if they keep watching, it'll auto play the next video and the next video and the next video. And that's how we all became flat earthers. Back before the algorithms were steering us off of flat earth, we were finding more and more relevant stuff. So I think that's what I'm most excited about with the app is it really is a great tool to keep people on track finding new information.
No, I couldn't agree more. So tell us about other things that are going on with the app. Is there anything else? I thought there was something else we needed to talk about.
Yeah, the weather. So it has the high and low temperature, which, in the morning, I like to check the temperature to see what I'm going to be wearing that day. But if you want more detail, just tap the weather now. And then if you go put your finger on the very right-hand side, you can scroll down. There's a live radar map, and you go down even lower. There's detailed weather forecast. It's the dark sky, local weather for your area based on your location that your phone has, and it's extremely accurate. So I love that. And we're adding a semi-functional widget for Android phones, so it could be on your home screen, so you can just quickly tap it to get into the app, make it easier for you. And that's it.
Okay, great. That's awesome. I did request the name that it says Brad, but whatever.
Yeah.
Yes, I did request him. So if he accepts, then we will add him to the call, and he can come on the second. What do we have? How many more minutes do we have? Oh, we have 2 minutes, 19 seconds. So anyway, what else do we have going on? There it is. All right, don't go anywhere. We got a break coming up. We'll be right back in 2 minutes. Possibly Dave from Zoom Trip. Don't go anywhere. You're listening. It's Monday Night Raw.
The reviews for Extendivite are amazing. Here are some from Amazon. By Christine, great for heart palpitations. By Anne, before I started using this product, every afternoon my ankle
TFR.
All right, welcome back, everybody. You are listening to Jeranism Monday Night Raw. Thank you for joining us. We are here in our second segment. Dave, I do not see any response from that particular Skype person, so hopefully if they are listening, Dave, if you're out there, Dave number 6 or whatever, 7, I don't know, 213-233-3998, and then tell Dave Weiss what number you're calling from or what area code, because we do have some calls on the board. And we can have a discussion with you, and you can say you're sorry, and you can tell us all about the little web application that you made, which I think is quite awesome.
He doesn't have to say sorry. We can just talk about the web app.
Well, I'm looking at, he did a video that says sorry, right?
Well, you already said it, so let him be. I'm long over it.
Just kidding. No, he's a great guy. I actually know him way back from D-Live. Is that or is it Steam It? I think I know him from Steam It when I used to post there before I realized that I would get 30 views or something. Anyway, I did a live stream today, Dave. I did see you in the chat. You were there for Scientific American Cosmology Has Big Problems, yes?
Yes, I was there for a little bit of it, yes.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Yes. So if you haven't had a chance to check out that video, check it out. It's simply an article written by a PhD who goes into depth, or at least a little bit of depth, into what we've been saying for 4 years now, and that's that cosmology has such a big problem. It's built on faulty foundations. And he goes in telling us that it's gotten to the point where we can't tell the difference anymore between science and fiction. That's a major problem. He talks about the fact that it's just simply Band-Aid over Band-Aid to cover up for the mathematical inadequacies and all the problems that they have. So I think I did a good job. Bob found that article and read it on Globebusters. So if you listen to Globebusters, you heard the article. If you didn't get to hear that, you maybe heard my video where I read it, so check that out. But then also at the end of that, I pointed out, and I want to point out again, that one of the great channels out there is Nathan Stoltman, who has the channel Lift the Veil. If you're not subscribed, that's his YouTube channel. He also is everywhere else. He's all over the place. He's on D-Live. He's on Steam It. He's on whatever those other places are called, Mixer, I don't know, some other sites. Maybe we'll have Nathan join us next week because he is a good friend. I like the guy a lot. His videos are great. He keeps up to date with the latest news stories, whether it's bombings at some mosque, or whether it's shootings at a mosque, or whether it's Trump stuff, or he's just always right on top. Measles scare.
He's gotten so good at saying things in a way where he doesn't get kicked off of YouTube.
Right. He's very smart. Yeah. Very smart, and he's just very careful with his words, and doesn't just come right out and say things that would get him kicked off the platform. Instead, just asking questions and being basically an observer and leaving the choices up to people, and he's done a great job doing that. He did lose his monetization, so obviously YouTube wasn't too pleased with him. But one of the things that he started doing, him and his wife, is they created their own Truth clothing store called truthclothing.io, and it's Truth Revolution Clothing, but the name of the website is truthclothing.io, and I recommend everyone to check it out. And I said in that video, and Dave corrected me, but I pointed out that his T-shirts are extremely good quality, and I only know that because I got 2 of them in the mail this week. I wore one of them to the Sacramento meetup, got another one that I really like, and the quality is just tremendous. And I said in there that Teespring also makes shirts, and I said the quality isn't as good. That was a little bit of an error on my part because they have different types of shirts. So I guess what I'm talking about is that just the generic basic T-shirt that you can get. But if people haven't checked out my channel, if you go to any of my videos and you just scroll down a little bit, there'll be some T-shirts that I created, and also you can watch the video that I did today live called Scientific American Cosmology Has Big Problems. And I talked about it in there and showed the site, and I have lots of good shirts. Do you like my NASA shirt, David?
I do. Excellent. I love all your designs. That's why I'm always asking you to help me out with the designs.
Well, thank you. I got to do more because it is kind of fun, but you want to make them look good. But Dave was right. He said, you said that, Teespring doesn't have good quality shirts. And he's right. They do have good quality shirts. You just have to pay a little bit more. So they have some, fine cotton blends and some, they're just a little bit more expensive. So if you're looking to spend, $17 on a shirt, then yeah, you're not going to get the best quality. But if you step it up to $22, $23, $24 a shirt, then you can get the nice quality shirts from Teespring and from my designs underneath my site. But the thing that's different about truthclothing.io is that's Nathan's own site. What he does is he has those printed locally, and so all of the shirts that you get will be of the best quality. So, the ones that I got sent, I ordered a Truth Matters shirt, and then he also sent me a Truth Revolution shirt for free. Thank you very much, Nathan, for that. And some stickers and a Doshi 2020 sticker, so I could put that on, if you want to help get Doshi into the Oval Office. But anyway, his shirts are run by him, and they are printed locally, and then him and his wife actually ship them out. So these are product that he has on hand, so it comes quicker. He also gives free shipping for any orders over $50, which I'm not sure. Teespring varies. Sometimes they have deals. Sometimes they have free shipping. Otherwise, I think it's like $3.99 an item or something. I don't know. But basically, you're right, David, so go ahead and tell people that I was wrong.
You were not wrong.
Oh.
No, you were wrong about that. The T-shirts are good, but Nathan's are amazing because they're just homemade.
Right. Or locally printed. But at least he goes and actually sees the shirts and can pick out the quality. And they just feel, everyone's put on one of those junky T-shirts before. Just feels so much better to put on a high-quality T-shirt. And so maybe we'll get Nathan on the show with us next week. I'll have to talk to him and see what he thinks. But he does great work. And so since he doesn't get monetization from YouTube, he depends on Patreon. He depends on this truthclothing.io. And so if you want some Truth shirts, check it out. Jamie Cisneros is somebody who's been a patron of mine for a very long time. And he showed up at the Sacramento meetup wearing the exact shirt I had on. So it was very easy to spot him from far away. I said, hey, Truth Matters. Very creepy. But I said, you got that from Nathan? He said, of course. So other people are supporting Nathan, and I just recommend him. And if you're not subscribed to his channel and watching his videos, he does such a great job. He did a video on the measles Brady Bunch episode, which is a great video. Yeah. So, and pointed out the fact that go ahead.
All I'm saying is he is what news used to be.
Right. Yeah. No, he's great. And I love his little moniker, which is usually right, always honest. And you can just tell, you can just feel that he's being honest. He's just trying to show the news. He's just trying to talk through some of it. And usually what he's been doing is he goes live at DLive for like an hour and a half, talking about things in a little bit different manner that he does on YouTube. And then what he'll do is he'll come over and do about a half-hour stream on YouTube where he cleans up his his wording a little bit, just to get around the YouTube censorship, and invite people to go back to DLive and check him out over there. Something that I need to look into doing. But he does a great job, and I really recommend his channel. So definitely look into doing that. So anyway, check out my stream from today. That was live, and it was Scientific American Cosmology Has Big Problems. So we talked about Teespring. And David, I like what you talked about, but let's talk about it just a second more. You said YouTube is doing a terrible job of recommending videos after any Flat Earth video. So if you check out my channel and you watch one of my videos, usually what follows is some sort of National Geographic hit piece, some ABC News story about Flat Earth, or it's always some anti-Flat Earth thing. So David has a great idea, which I think works well, which is if you put those videos or you send people to playlists, and I'll let David tell you rather than me mumble on about it. David, tell us about playlists.
Oh, yeah. So just like I do on the app, if you're sending somebody a video, put it in a playlist with all of the other favorite videos that go along with it, or go to a channel like mine or Jeran. You probably have some playlists. Find a playlist there that that has the video. I have different categories of videos, but you can easily make your own. Take the top 10 videos on a certain subject, and then go to that video in the playlist. And then copy the URL at the top of the screen and send that. It'll still show up as the same thumbnail, but it will auto play the next video in the playlist.
Brilliant.
So
it's
a great way to do that.
So I'll make sure that tomorrow I go through my playlists and really clean them up and kind of create some new ones, because mine are kind of all over the place right now. But I think that's a great idea. So when I recommend a video, I always just go to the video, copy the link, and then send it to somebody. But you're absolutely right. What I need to do is make sure that that's a part of a playlist, copy the playlist link, and so you just make sure that you're playing the video inside the playlist and then copy the link and it will play the rest of the playlist. Is that correct?
Yeah. So go in the playlist, click the video that you want. That video comes up, and then don't use the share button. Use the URL at the top of the screen, which will just be a longer URL.
Right.
And then just share it. And that's a way to keep people on track.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah. So hopefully everybody thinks about doing that. Another video I need to get out based on the Sacramento meetup is I brought some of my distilled water, and everybody's asking, well, how do you do it? How do you do it? So I'm going to have to do a video about how we distill our water, and why it's good to do so. So Dave, you're still distilling, of course, right?
I am. And, Veritas, I believe this week is coming out with it's the first time they really teased a future episode about, water and how distilled water is literally the solution for everything.
Yeah,
I think that's what it's about, but it's all about the importance of water. And I've discovered I do so many different things to maintain my health and happiness, and water, the right water is the one, is the biggest thing.
And I still haven't had a cigarette since February the 28th. And one of the things I do when I get that craving is I just go pound a glass of water. Makes me feel better.
Yep.
So it's worked thus far. Let's hope it continues. So anyway, we want to talk about that. You also wanted to talk about some stickers.
Yeah. So a lot of people are looking for stickers and stuff. The company I use, and I have no affiliation, is Sticker Mule, and they have all sorts. They make great high quality vinyl stickers and stuff. But they occasionally have specials. They did. Did you do the buttons when they had the button special?
I don't think I ever made any.
They have these $9 specials. So 50 stickers for $9. It's a good deal. 2 circle stickers. So I'll put the link in the TFR chat, in the Ginger Sugar Bush chat. Is that where I should put it?
Sure.
I'll put it there for anybody that's over there on Ginger Sugar Bush 905. And if you want to get a round sticker, you could say the Earth is flat. You could design it yourself. Just a circle, just any design you want. And remember, it's only a 2-inch circle, so it's a fun thing to do, and it's only $9 including delivery. So I'll put the link in there and check it out. That's all.
Okay, and then if people need ideas for designs, if you go to my website, Jeranism.com, there's the links up top. One of them says link, and right below that says Flat Earth Printables. Right now, there's the trifold Flat Earth trifold PDF that was made by Andrew Lanks. So if you check that out, and then there's a Spanish version. There's also the Have You Seen This Kitty Flyer PDF, Research Flat Earth PDF. What I'll do is I'll add below that some designs that I come up with that are just simple sticker designs. So if you want to go do that, then it's $9, you said, and that's free shipping?
Free shipping, $9.
Wow. And you get 50 stickers, 2-inch stickers.
50 2-inch stickers, right. It's normally like $50 for that short of a run, but
right.
It's a $9, it's just a promotion. But that's it.
Okay. Well, then we also wanted to talk about, once you do that, if people do decide to do that, they ask you to leave a review, right?
Yeah. Oh, that's thank you. I'm trying to get Dave on here.
That's right. I got it. He just accepted, so I'll add him. Oh,
okay. So what happens is if you order the stickers today or tomorrow, you'll have them by Monday or Tuesday next week, and then they'll send you a link saying, "Hey, please leave a review for the sticker you had," and it goes up on their review page. And if we get 10, 20, 50 people to get stickers, and everybody makes a different Flat Earth sticker, and then everybody leaves a review, and the review is Sticker Mule is great. These stickers, the high quality stickers, and they know the Earth is flat, or just put in a review and then fit Flat Earth into the review. We can dominate their review page. So anybody that's going there, look at the top 10, 20, 30 reviews will all be Flat Earth reviews. It'll be hysterical.
That will be good stuff.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second. I'm trying to add him, and it's not working here for some reason. Oh, maybe I have to put the word live in front of it? I don't know what's going on.
I think so.
Oh, that's probably why. Give me 1 second. I'm going to try and add him. Yeah, but talk more about Sticker Mule then, David, while I do this real quick.
Yeah, so that's it. I still haven't put the link anywhere because I can only do 2 things at once. So I'm gonna, if anyone that is listening elsewhere, you're gonna have to go to Ginger Sugarbush 905 on YouTube, and I will put the link in there right now.
Jeez, I don't know why this will not let me add him to the call. Hold on 1 second. I see him down here, and when I don't know how to do this. Hold on 1 second. So when you add to a call, let's see, I'm adding. Okay, 404 on the call. Add to the call. It says search, and I can't
add the link. It's too many. It's too many characters.
Oh boy!
I'll tell you what. Anybody that wants the link, email me at info@theflatearthpodcast.com, and just in the title say $9 sticker link. All right.
Okay, good. 1 second. I think I'm searching through this list of people because it won't come up when I search, and I don't know my alphabet very well. L comes after J. Yes, I believe so. Let's see here. Is he on here? L-I-V-E. I don't see him on here.
So bizarre.
I don't know if it has something to do with the fact that we added him during this call, so he's not showing up when I try and add him to the call because he's a new person or something.
Why don't we do it at the top of the hour at the break? Can you hang up and call back?
Well, is he listening? Because he could easily call 213-233-3998 and get on.
I will tell him that again.
Oh, yes, I have his Skype now, so I can just tell him. Let me just tell him right now.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah. So let me see here. Call. Sorry. 213.
And I'll start telling you about his web application.
Yeah, please. Let's start that.
It's called Flat Earth Finder. I think that's the proper name. If I get it wrong, he'll correct me. And basically, it's a simple little website. If you go to zoomtruth.com, you can sign up. Now, here's the problem. You sign up. You put in your any name you want. Put your YouTube name. Put your real name. Doesn't matter. And then it's going to ask for your address, and that's where people get a little worried. But we're going to talk about that in a minute. But you can just put in a city and state. You don't have to put in your physical address. And basically, you just add yourself, and then it shows you where other flat earthers are around you. You can say, hey, show me anybody within 5 miles, 50 miles, 10,000 miles. And I think it's pretty cool. Anybody that is worried that they're going to use it to track you, well, you're already tracked. If you have a smartphone,
I hate to tell you.
Yeah, they know where you are. They're listening to what you're saying. This is the least of your concerns. And I actually messaged somebody earlier today that was just not too far from me. Was like 15 miles away, and they called themselves the Flat Earth Fisherman or something. And I'm like, hey, he's a boater. Maybe I can meet up with him and get a ride on his boat.
All right, let's see if we got Dave on the line. Dave, are you there?
I hear you.
We hear you.
Hey, Dave.
There we go.
Hey, Jeran.
This is the Dave Fest.
Yeah.
Dave, that was
sincere apologies to you guys. Seriously, I want to just start off and say that I really am sorry, man. Both of you.
Hey, apology accepted. We're all in this together.
Thank you.
Yep. So tell
temporary insanity is my plead. I plead temporary insanity.
Yeah.
That works for you, by the way. When you're out on the boardwalk, that temporary insanity actually makes you fascinating to watch.
A lot of people accuse me of meth and of a meth addiction.
You're not addicted to it. You just like it occasionally. That's fine.
Yeah. That's so funny. Thanks for the shout out, guys. That's very nice of you guys to do that. I appreciate it. And for signing on too.
Now, Jeran tried to find me this afternoon, and he couldn't find me. Is that because I hadn't been approved yet?
Yeah, that should be. I'll look right now, and I think you should be on there now, for sure. So hang on.
Hey, why don't you, instead of doing that right now, why don't you tell us your vision of the app and your thoughts, and then maybe we can ask you a few questions.
Sure. Okay, yeah, my original vision is just that I feel like, I always wonder, like, how many people are out there who are out there who know the Earth is flat, and B, people are like sheep-like, right? And even us flat earthers probably still have a lot of those sheep-like tendencies from all those years of being sheep. So when you see, when you can visually see that there are, hopefully at some point, we will be able to visually see on the map on this flat Earth People Finder, you'll be able to see that there are thousands upon thousands of people. That in and of itself, in my mind, will be just another proof that, there's something going on where people are seeing that the Earth is flat and can maybe help people overcome an initial resistance to even investigating it. That's one thing.
Let me chime in real quick. Now, there's barely anybody on the app. There's a couple hundred maybe. But you just launched it a couple days ago, and nobody really knows about it yet. But I have to tell you, I went on it, and then I said, show me within 50 miles or whatever. And it tells you how far. It lists everybody from closest to farthest, and there was somebody like 12 miles from me.
Right. I did the same.
And I was like,
I did the same thing. And there was like 4 or 5 people just in my, Tri-City area here, which is a very small little area. But there was already, and I don't know when you launched it, but there was already 3 or 4 people. Then I added myself, and I went to look to see if I could find David. I couldn't find him, and then I went back to see if I could find myself, and couldn't find myself. But then I realized there's a process that you have to approve them, basically, right?
Yeah, like I get so excited when I come up with ideas. I always do them half-assed, So I apologize for that. So I think hopefully we'll get the directions. Like we put now there's a little directions button which tells people that you don't even have to put in your full address, which we didn't have when I first started it. But Dave, just by the way, you are in there. I see you in Stanford now. You're on the map, so we can locate you there. And that's cool. That's good to hear. And I'm hoping that that's another reason you can see that, wow, just in my own neighborhood I have a few people, and at some point maybe people want to start connecting together, and maybe they want to go ahead.
Yeah, so when I saw the person that was close to me and I liked his username, I said, all right, let me try to contact this guy. And because I'm trying to contact him, I gave him my email address. I didn't get to see his email address. Is that how it works?
Oh, no. When if you click on the icon,
yep,
you can see the person. You should be able to see the person's email address.
Okay.
Like I'm seeing info@theflatearthpodcast.com as your email address.
I guess I didn't look at that, but I shot him an email and I was like, hey, this guy's pretty close to me. He's kind of near where another flat earther CC lives, Chris. And I'm like, I could practically have a flat earth meetup in my area with local flat earthers now.
Cool. And now the interesting. Hopefully, he received your email. I have no idea. That would be. I don't think I've even done a test on that. So I'm going to have to do that within my my own means and double check that works. Like that. I hope not. That it's
now,
all
Dave, you mentioned yesterday when we did our little chat that you just want this thing to get out there to wake people up, and that you really. This is you just did this, and you don't know how much farther to take it, and that anyone that has any ideas or skill to make it better, you're more than open to sharing it, letting them have it, just whoever can run with it the best. Is that the case?
100%. And I don't even know how. Like I know that they do like open source, like sometimes on video games and stuff, like or other areas. I don't know exactly what that means, but. Yeah, I don't know how to do that where you have to be careful like someone doesn't come in and sabotage it, but right. I really would like to be able to give the keys to like anybody who has an ability to improve it. I don't know how you do that though. I don't know if you guys know how.
Remind us real quick the web address.
It's you go to zoomtruth.com right now, and maybe we need to change that. Maybe I need to change that to like flatearthpeoplefinder.com or something like that. I don't know, but right now it's zoomtruth.com. And you can get there. I figured that's a nice, easy name to remember.
And then also,
what do you do in Zoom Truth?
Sorry.
I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
Say that again, Jeran. Sorry.
Yeah, and I'll put the link to it in the show notes here. There's always a link spot that I can put for the TFR show. But when you go to zoomtruth.com, what will you click on from that point? Because all David did today was send me a link. I clicked the link, and I was right there at the People Finder.
That was zoomtruth.com, Jeran. I think.
Yeah, that is Zoom Truth. Like, it's boom. That's the whole Zoom Truth. That's all it is right now.
Perfect.
Yep.
That's what I want to know. I did a link from there or something. Okay, great.
One other quick story on somebody using it. Isaiah 22 actually. He comments a lot on videos, and he had said that he was able to, try to reach out and get in touch with a few people in his area too. So that's kind of exciting, but with, and especially given that there's only, like 150, 160 people who've signed on so far. So, it could become dramatically more useful if the numbers of how many flat earthers are out there that I believe are out there, could somehow find out about this thing, which I don't know how to do.
Right. So hang on. We're gonna go to a break in a second. I'd like you to stay over, Jeran. You cool with that?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you.
And just one quick thing before we go. You said anybody that has a website can embed it in their website, so it can be an app on their website. So it'll just be there. Correct?
Yes, 100%. There's coding on. You have to to embed it on. I have to forget where the link is. I guess it's down at the bottom, but I have to double check that. But yes, that is true. There is coding that you can embed it on your own website. 100%.
Perfect. Beautiful. Yeah, and just to remind people, you don't have to put your actual address if you don't want people to know where you live. But we'll talk more about it when we get back. Jeran does.
Hey, Brad. I don't see where the embedding is.
Truth Frequency Radio is your #1 source for news and information without the hate, hype, and fear. We're proud to feature cutting-edge programs like The Christopher
All right, welcome back. You are listening to Jeranism Monday Night Raw, making sure I'm not on mute, which I am not. That's good. And we're going to bring back onto the line Dave from Zoom Truth. I thought. There we go. Dave, you still there?
Dave?
Hey, guys.
All right, just make sure.
I'm here. Hey, just real quick, I'm sorry to interrupt you guys, but like 36 people were just on. Like we just had a rush of people who signed up. And just so everybody knows, I have to approve. So like once you enter it, you really don't get a notification yet that it went in, and it's a little confusing. So a couple people submitted twice or more.
This is censorship. This is you censoring us, David.
So
sorry.
Good stuff, guys. That was the most people to sign on ever in like 3 minutes. Crazy.
All right. Well, I think it's a great app. It's really exciting to find people near you. And it's up to you. You know, whatever you can. If you're really, if you're worried about people knowing where you are, just put the town next to yours. Don't even put your real town. And then for your email address, make a separate Flat Earth email address if you don't want people having your real email address. That way, you're totally in control of who's going to contact you. You can vet them out a little bit. You can have your paranoia. But in reality, it's just flat earthers trying to meet up. So there's nothing to be afraid of. I think it's a great app, and I think it has it's going to get improved by a lot of people helping you very quickly.
Yes, it is at an early stage here, and I think there's so much more that could probably be, with creative minds chipping in. Hopefully, we can make it a lot more useful even than it is.
Yeah, my plan is I'll check it out after the show, but if I can figure out how to do the embed, then I'll go ahead and embed it onto my website as well, so people can go to one of the links. Under link, it'll just say Flat Earth People Finder, and people can go there and enter it in. Should be easy.
And I'll put it on the Flat Earth podcast.
I just figured out on when you go to zoomtruth.com, the embed link isn't there. What you do is you click on Add Me to the Flat Earth Map, and then on the link at the top portion of the page, there's a link that says Flat Earth People Locator. You click on that link, and then you'll see the embed store coding on that page. But you have to kind of go to that step in order to get the coding. I'm sorry to be like all detail-oriented here, but
it's very simple. Like you said, just go to zoomtruth.com, and then you'll see a little link up at the top, Flat Earth People Locator. You click that, and then right below the People Locator is an embed code, which is just a simple 2-line code. You pop that into your website, which I should do probably during the show, but I'll do it for sure right after the show, and that will be on my website. So yeah, click where it says link, and then I'll have a little link that says Flat Earth People Finder, and then that should be embedded on my site as well. So hopefully that'll be done by the end of the show.
Right, and if anybody
30 people.
Yeah, if anybody wants to, that has the skill, I certainly don't, on how to make it better, well, what's the best way to reach you, Dave?
Right now, yeah, David at zoomtruth.com is an email that you can send me, and if you have any, if you have ideas, or if you have a means of, any ideas on how to make this better, or if you are good at coding, because that's the problem. I've been hiring like people who do like freelance coding to do like the little changes. And that's the way I've been doing it right now. So it's not that efficient. We're not that great at doing coding. Myself and my brother.
No, that's good. I just brought it up right now, and it shows me being, the closest to me, and then it shows Alan is 11 miles away, Sean 15 miles away, Lacey 30 miles away. So do people when they do submit, as you said, that you have to approve it? How long should they wait until they panic? Give it a day or two.
Yeah, I would say 24 hours, and I'm trying to stay on top of this and approve people as soon as possible. I don't have a means of like really verifying information, so if people are worried about that, I get it. So, but I didn't want to do like a test that you have to do, or like to prove that you're a flat earther. You know what I mean? I don't know what you guys think of that, but. I just wanted to keep it as simple as possible. It's pretty easy to sign on. And like you guys said, the big thing is that, you don't have to give up your exact address. You could just put in a city and a state. And it's important for the people who are trying to sign on, when you do that, if you just click tab after you enter city and state, and you just hit tab, the coordinates then get entered into it, and you can complete the rest of the form. And you don't need to put in your phone number. That's an optional part too. So if that makes you nervous, the phone number is not necessary.
Right. Just put in your city and state. That's good enough, and start there.
Yep, city, state, and then press tab just to enter it, and we'll get you on the map, and hopefully we can see this thing fill out even more. It's pretty cool. I see you got people in United Kingdom, people in Kuwait, Australia, Netherlands, and I think even that is kind of powerful, seeing how many people there are all across the plane.
And then everybody that just signed up, if you like it, tell your other friends that aren't listening. Get them to sign up. Say, hey, check it out. And if everybody tells somebody, we're done. It'll be the whole world.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. 100%. That's what we need. We can't do this ourselves, right? I mean, everybody has to participate in order to make this thing work. I think no single person is going to be able to make it happen. I don't think so. Very important. And I really, really super appreciate you guys for doing this. I was out of my mind there. I don't even know what I was thinking, and so I'm happy that you guys are on board.
What happens
with this, and I shouldn't say on board. I should say that you're accepting that I've come to my senses.
Well, Dave, a good idea is a good idea, but I'll tell you, a couple years ago, Jeran would just be so upset, and he would be all over the place because he read his comments. He just followed the comments on his channel, and now he barely reads his comments. Is that right, Jeran?
Yeah, very little.
Very little, because there's just horrible people in there.
Yeah.
The chat on your channel is infested. I literally need to take a shower with the stuff that gets rid of lice after watching your chat. Okay, it's that horrible. So
I hear you, but that is the state of things, right? People are people are so messed up from finding out the Earth is flat. I guess you start to freaking really when they say question everything, they really start to question everything. You lose your mind a little bit.
Right,
I just came from that boat, so I'm kind of sympathetic to them.
Yeah,
I hear where you were at too.
I got it. People say that's censorship. I look at it differently. It's you know what? If you want to say something, go say it on your own channel. But the people that are in there that are that's all they do. They hate flat Earth.
Yeah.
But they that's all they do. Well, that's a major red flag to me. I'm not interested. I actually ban so many people. I ban people that are on my side, just friendly fire. There's nothing I can do about it. I do the best that I can, but it happens.
Yeah.
It happens. So, but you don't have to do that.
I just want to mention, I'm probably the opposite. I'm going to probably allow everybody, every troll and their brother, I'm going to take away the wrenches, because I think, for me, and I'm fine with what you said. I'm learning that we all have different ideas of what to go about, and that, I'm not going to agree, and you're not going to agree with everything I think, and I got to be okay with that and move on. Because otherwise, you get stuck in this, like you said, it becomes like a cesspool of just if anybody doesn't see things your way, it just you end up imploding your ability to work with them, I think. And I'm seeing I see a lot of it, and that was me. That was me as of yesterday. So hopefully this is a good change, and hopefully we see a lot of people get onto that zoomtruth.com and sign up and get this Flat Earth People Locator so that it can really become a useful tool.
Dave, and just one note, you have to keep talking about it on other shows. You have to get other people to talk about it, because I've been talking about my app for so long. I figured every flat earther that's ever heard me has it. But we found out the other day, Jeran went to a meetup with 60 people, and how many people had it?
Nobody really saw.
It's
can
so
I tell
difficult.
you? And what was crazy? Well, I've become like I think maybe other flat earthers feel this way, and like when like money gets involved, it makes me apprehensive. But there's a couple things that people have to remember is that, you know, this stuff costs money, and you know, to expect people to just pay for it out of their pocket and then and not get repaid for their work and their effort is like, I don't think it's realistic, because not everybody can do that. So I think, like, for me, that was one of the things that I was like, I didn't want to sign up for the app just because I was worried not about paying the $3, but I was thinking that the profit motive turns me off, and maybe other people feel that way too. But honestly, I don't feel that way anymore, because I know when I buy banners and stuff like that, no one's reimbursing me. You know, I don't get reimbursed, and it would be like, it gets expensive.
The real psyop is the trolls want to make everyone think that if there's money involved, that's a bad thing. But if somebody's doing this, you know, for full time and they're doing their best to wake up the world, why not allow them to be able to support themselves so they can keep doing it? If you don't support what you like goes away.
I agree. I think it does become a slippery slope a little bit, like when advertisements start to, you know, put, like, it's a slippery slope. But I agree. If, like, people need to make a living, and you know, the system demands it. So how the heck are you going to be promoting truth and then starving at the same time? You can't do both. So, you know, I know, man, everybody's going to think I got a big paycheck on this one because I flipped so hard. You know what I mean? Like, people are going to be freaking. Excuse me?
I said it's in the mail.
Hey, I got a question from somebody. Hey, Dave, I got a question from somebody. How did someone change their information after they've signed up? If they want to update their email address or something, do you have a way for them to do that?
All right, I'm going to put on their way. I'm going to contact David at Zoom Truth, or maybe I'll make an administrator email to send it to. But in the meantime, if you need a change, send it to david@zoomtruth.com, my email, and we'll put the change through right away. But yeah, I will be adding that in the next, hopefully in the next week or so, where people, so that people can request changes and have a means to do so.
That'll be good, because someone might sign up with, you know, their channel name and just a town, you know, maybe a town nearby, and then they'll be like, hey, you know what, I like this. I want to narrow it down a little more. I want to actually put my address in, or my phone number, or change an email address. So you should definitely have that ability to update it, especially if people make a mistake after they enter it.
100%. I agree. 100%. The other thing is that, so I have all these emails, and I was thinking, wouldn't it be great to be able to search by radius and then get a bunch of people's emails who are local to you? But do you think that's too intrusive, meaning that, like, some spammer could come along and find all these emails?
I think you want to make it, Jeran, what do you think? I think you want to make it,
I don't know, it depends.
Or you have to contact. What's that?
Email's out there. I mean, it's out there, and people are going to find it no matter what. But no, I think that the way it works is really good. And by the way, I just added that to my website. So if you go to Jeranism.com, there's one of the menu buttons says link, and if you pull that down to Flat Earth People Finder, then Flat Earth People Finder is right there on my website now. So it's all set up already. Beautiful.
So cool. Thank you so much. That's awesome.
Yep, and
that's exciting.
Awesome. So yeah, so if anybody wants to check that out, just to make sure it's not just on my view, but no, it looks good. If you go to my website, Dave, you might want to try that. Click link, go down to Flat Earth People Finder, and it should work. So yeah, so it works good. And go ahead, Dave.
No, the last thing I want to say is somebody was saying that when they filled it out, it auto-populated their phone number, and they didn't want their phone number in there. So just look for an email. Someone by the name of Joe is going to email you. He would just like his phone number removed. So just be careful, everybody.
Oh, super. I will try. I'll take care of that right away.
Don't hit enter until you approve what you've typed in there, because sometimes your computer will auto fill out a field for you. That's all.
Or your iPhone does the same thing sometimes if you have it turned on. So be careful with that.
All right.
Yeah.
But Dave, tell everybody where they can find you, and tell them, you know, where you do your work, what's your YouTube channel, and all that.
Okay, super. Again, you know, the Flat Earth People Finder is at zoomtruth.com. I do flat Earth activism where I get out on I do boardwalk, go out on the boardwalk, or I go out in like the New Jersey area and do activism. And my YouTube channel is Zoom Truth, 2 words, Zoom space then Truth. Is my YouTube channel where I post videos of of when I go out there. I've gone to some township council meetings and some school meetings and done some flat earth activism there. And I will mention, I think my next location where I'm going to try to do some activism is outside of either like a middle school or a high school at the end of the day. And I think I'm going to be doing that in the next week or so, because I think these kids are the more open-minded than most of the people. Well, I don't know what you guys think on that, but I think that might be a good way to go.
Dave, do you ever go to Asbury Park Boardwalk?
I haven't gone there yet, but I mean, I've certainly gone there in the past.
In late September, there's a big music festival there called the See Here Now Festival. It'd be a great time to go out down there. Tons of people,
Oh, that sounds
open
great.
minds, and I'll be there.
Woo!
Very cool, yeah. If I'm still here, I think I'm moving south down to Florida, hopefully sooner rather than later. But if I am still in New Jersey, in the criminal state of New Jersey, yeah, man, I would definitely make an effort to go there. And I like the idea of any like all these festivals that are taking place now in the warmer months. That sounds like a great idea. I like when there's tons of eyeballs to do the activism. I don't like to go out there and only meet a couple people. I'm greedy.
All right. Well, any final words before we let you
go? No. Just that I really appreciate you guys, helping spread the word on the People Finder, and let's keep waking people up.
Every day sounds good. Thanks.
All right, Dave. Good talking to you.
All right, guys.
Peace.
All right. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. That was a very fun call. Get something done. It's on my website now, so people can check that out if they want, or head over to Zoom Truth, which may be easier to type in. But maybe people have my website auto-programmed or in their bookmarks and something to make it easy. So, Dave, are you ready to take calls, or do you have anything else going on?
No, I'm ready to take calls.
All right, let's go to the 321 area code. Been waiting for 73 long minutes. You're on with Jeranism Monday Night Raw. Who's this? Where are you from?
This is your meatballer caller.
Oh boy!
And I have something good for you today. I think you're going to like this one. All right.
Okay. Can I ask you
something I've researched on my own?
Can I ask you a question first?
Sure.
I have to know why you listen to the show. Like, I don't get it. Like, are you 100% sure that you live on a spinning space rock? Or, like, are you secretly questioning that idea, and a part of that questioning is trying to convince me that I live there so that you feel better about it or something? I mean, I can't imagine for the life of me why somebody would keep calling this show if they are totally convinced that I'm wrong. So, yeah, explain it to me real quick. Answer that question.
Well, like I've told you this before. When I first started, when I first knew of you, was because YouTube recommended your videos. So I watched you, or I listened to you, or watched you, or whatever.
Can you listen? Let me just interrupt for a second. You have 60 seconds because you just drag stuff out so long and make me want to kill myself. 60 seconds. Get your point out.
Well, you're a very impatient man. That's all I gotta say. I'm trying to do something good here for you that you're going to agree with me on here.
Okay, thank you.
Tonight I don't want to go into microscopic stuff.
Go ahead.
Trying to, Anyway, Jeran. So the quick answer is because I listen to some of the stuff, and you're like my brother or my cousin or my nephew, and I'm thinking, you know what? I feel empathy. I feel empathy.
Okay.
That I want to, give you some more information. That's it. All right. And it's nothing. I'm not trying to fight you or anything like that.
But I have
all right. Now here, I'm trying to come up.
But I have empathy for so many people who have crazy beliefs all across the world, but I don't go to their show weekly and then call in every week to talk to them about it. Like at a certain point, after I've called them once or twice, or I've talked to them once or twice, or tried sending them a message, I just kind of give up and say, well, I'm going to let them be. It's just surprising to me that you show up here every week. But that's fine. Go ahead with your question.
I don't do it, seconds. But I don't do it every week. The first 2 years, I did it like
you don't listen,
a year apart.
You don't listen every week? I think you listen to my
No, I don't listen every week.
You don't listen to Globebusters every week?
But
I think you do. Anyway.
A little bit.
Okay, that's what I thought. So
a little bit.
Let's go. Yes.
Okay, I'm not saying I'm sitting through 3 hours of Globebusters, but it gets me away from my real problems in my life and death, real problems in real life. This is just like a get away from real life. Okay.
All right, starting right now.
Here it is. I think you're
60 seconds. Go.
Give me 2 minutes, man.
Jesus, I got a lot of other calls.
Because you're gonna like this one.
That's it. You got 30 seconds. Go.
It out so long. You have 60 seconds starting right now.
30 seconds.
Here we go. 60. Go.
Well, here it is. When I first talked to you, I called you a pancaker and me a meatballer, okay, as to show the difference between. And so I've done some original research here, and I have come to the conclusion that the Earth is flatter than a pancake.
Right.
Okay, and I did my research. I've actually done the measurements.
Correct.
Okay, so the Earth is flatter than a pancake. So
Right.
this is exclusive to you, Jeran.
Thank you.
And I think this glober is going to say, or this meatballer is going to say that the Earth is flatter than a pancake.
Right.
And I've done my research. I went to IHOP. I bought pancakes. I did the measurements.
Okay, goodbye.
Okay, next caller.
All right, let's go to the next caller. You're from the 254. You're on with Jeranism Monday Night Raw. Who's this? Where are you from?
Hey, how's it going? I got some questions. So Dave's app, does it give you the sunrise and sunset angles?
You don't think I can recognize your voice?
Does
Go.
the app track you in any way?
Go hang out.
Some other questions were.
Go hang out with your boyfriend and get off this phone call. You know who that was, right, Dave?
Yeah, it's the limited
Event.
the limited mind.
Event Septic. One of the
Event Septic. Yes.
the biggest clowns in the flat Earth. And now he's going to say that we're censoring him because we don't want to talk to him. But we don't need it. Does it show the sunset angles? Does it show? Oh, come on. Give me a break. Here we go. Let's go to the next caller. 647. You're on with Jeranism Monday Night Raw. Who's this? Where are you from?
Hello, guys.
What's up?
Hi, I have a suggestion for an experiment with a cell phone. Like if we could somehow disconnect the cell phone from the cellular tower and then check whether the GPS also has been disconnected. I don't know how to do the experiment. I've tried on my phone, but I can't disconnect the cellular.
Do you think that your phone sends signals to GPS satellites?
No. I'm saying.
No, I'm just asking.
I'm saying.
I'm just asking.
I'm a flat earther. I'm not a glober.
Okay, but I'm just asking. A lot of people.
I'm saying.
Phone sends signals to GPS satellites, and that's not what happened. Your phone receives signals from supposed GPS satellites. So there's no way to tell the difference because we're just saying that they come from cell phone towers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If we disconnect the connection to the cell phone tower, I'm pretty sure the GPS will not work.
Okay. Yeah,
will not work.
Yeah, but we're saying that the GPS can be anything. It can be balloons in the sky. It can be anything. We've seen NASA sends up 50 balloons a day. They send up balloons that can stay up for longer than a year. So how easy would it be to have a balloon above everyone's head? And I'm not saying every individual person. You could have a balloon that would cover a huge amount of area to where your GPS would come directly from that. How would we ever know the difference?
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. I assume that GPS is the cell phone tower.
It mostly is cell phone towers, but there's so many different balloon programs. They might be using that in some remote places.
Sure. But we wouldn't know.
Oh, okay. It could be a combination of maybe of cell phone towers and balloons.
Well, to me, the simplest proof that there isn't satellites is when you're in remote areas in the middle of a desert or a jungle or the ocean. There's no service. There's no GPS.
Yeah,
if there was a grid of satellites, it would be everywhere. It wouldn't care about your location.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. I'm just saying I thought I had an idea where we could prove that the GPS is cell phone tower. If we just turn off a connection from the phone, somehow, I don't know how to do it though.
Yeah, I don't know if you can do that. Turn off the
connection. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just thought I had an idea. I don't know. But I thought maybe if I could turn off my connection to the cell phone tower, but keep the location feature on, which supposedly is GPS, my guess would be that once you disconnect from the cell phone tower, you would also disconnect from GPS. Because to me, GPS and cell phone tower is the same thing. I'm just throwing out an idea.
We agree, but I don't know if there's a way to turn off the cellular connection and leave a GPS connection on. It's the same thing. So I don't think you can differentiate.
Right. I totally agree. And if people don't know why we hung up on that last call, I just want to point out something very simply. If you think that you can make video after video calling me a Satanist, calling me a devil worshiper, calling me the devil, calling me the Antichrist, and then you can call into my show and ask me a question just like everything's cool.
And saying that I fake everything, all my sunsets are CGI, that I'm the Antichrist, that I am a shill, and just talk utter nonsense.
The guy that called in has accused me of faking my ISS footage. I mean, it's ridiculous. I told people at the end of my video, and if you're listening right now, Event Septic, I told you at the end of that video how to go do it your damn self. It's not hard to do. Do it your damn self, and then call in, and then you'll realize that you're an idiot for saying that I did. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Jeranism Monday Night Raw. I'm pissed.
Cause if we're really just born to die, I'd rather not have been born. Stay in school, they said. Use your tools, they said. But being
right, welcome back. You are listening to Jeranism Monday Night Raw. certainly crazy to me that people who claim that I fake observations, that I'm a Satanist, that I'm working behind the scenes to secretly throw the flat Earth movement, want to have a little chat, that I want to have a little chat with them. I don't want to chat with you. And people should realize what it does to your credibility. If you guys don't understand why I don't watch anything you've ever done in the last year, why I would never tune into your channel, it's because I know for a fact that David's not faking his sun fade out videos, that he doesn't even know how to do that. He wouldn't even have a clue where to begin.
Oh, thanks, man.
Well, you can fly your drone, but that's because it flies for you. I tried to.
What are you calling me, an idiot?
No, I'm just saying that, if you have an expensive drone, it does all the work for you. I bought one of the little $70 ones, and I flew it out into a field like 300 feet from me and disappeared. I lost it. I couldn't fly it, but I need to get one of those expensive ones, I guess, that can do.
I get accused of censoring people. I really don't, except I do censor these two guys to the point where if you listen to the last podcast, I actually bleeped out the names of their channels.
Hilarious. And you have every right to do that. They have earned zero credibility. And that's what happens. That's why I don't go around accusing people or calling people shills, because the second that that's not true, my credibility is shot. It's gone.
They also think that they're smarter than everybody. Like in David's chat yesterday, the one goes to the other, goes, "Hey, I don't want to say his name. What time are you going live tonight?" And he's like, "Oh, hey man, I'm going live at 8 p.m." Meanwhile, they live together.
Just yelling through the wall there from
and they do the show together. I mean, it's so sad and pathetic and
upsetting, frustrating. It's like I told you guys in my video how to go do it yourself. It's very easy. You guys can get together. You live together, so you can drive together. Go to wherever you can observe it, and then you'll feel bad for claiming that I faked it. This is why I don't claim that Red's Rhetoric fakes his footage of the launches. You know why? Because I can fly to Florida, and I'm sure I can film a launch too. It doesn't mean anything. They don't know where that thing's going. The thing goes up, and then it disappears in the sky as it heads off towards the ocean. I say it drops in the ocean. They say it goes to space. There's a scene change in the little SpaceX video that they can't control. They just assume that is...
They don't know what it is either that's going up there.
No. And so, that's why I don't say, oh, Red's Rhetoric's faking that. You know why? Because the second I say that, my credibility's shot. Because anyone can probably go to Florida. You have to stand 11 miles away from the launch. They don't let you get anywhere close. And then the thing comes down and lands. You don't know if that thing's made of a thin aluminum shell with helium in the middle. You don't know. So does the thing come back and land? Do they film it? Probably. But I certainly don't go around telling people that what they're doing is fake. I don't call people Satanists unless I have proof. I don't tell people that I sell baby's blood on my website, which is what you guys have said before. And that's caught on. Other people have started saying that. It's ridiculous. It's nonsense. So until then,
do you believe that the sun goes through a Pac-Man hole and comes out the other side?
No, I certainly don't. There's no evidence of that. But these guys, they don't understand, as we've explained. I mean, all they need to do is look at your website, Dave, and then find the atmospheric dome videos, and they will see why the sun sets south of west in the south. They claim to say, oh, the sun doesn't circle. There's videos, tons of videos from the North Pole, or not from the North Pole, but from the north. You can go to
Norway. From the Arctic Circle.
From the Arctic Circle, and you can see that the sun circles those people around their heads. They have to follow the camera. They have to turn 360 degrees and follow that. And I told you guys, I even challenged, and I don't want to say his name, Jason is his name. I challenged him. I said, if he's willing to put up the money, and both of us will travel to Norway or whatever, we'll film the sun go around our heads, and then whoever's right, whether it goes around or whether it's faked, we owe the other person $1,000. He declined to do that. So I said, okay, well, I mean, that's what I'm willing to do, is the other person has to pay for that person's trip. I don't have money to go up there, but I'm sure if I asked people, I would get donations. I'd be able to go up there to the Arctic Circle. I'd be able to film the sun go right around my head. I know this because there's flat earthers who have sent me video. They've done it themselves. There's channels that have 360 videos watching the sun go around their heads in the summer. Okay, and you guys claim that doesn't happen. Why? Because you need the sun to basically jump. And you've showed video from Alaska that you say shows the sun jump, and it doesn't show the sun jump. And then you say, well, it doesn't do a 360 because it goes below the horizon. Yeah, it goes below the horizon because it gets too far. Anyway, enough time spent on them. I'm really surprised that Matt Long went on their channel. I don't know if he. Well,
Matt didn't know. Matt thought that that it was going to be an interesting conversation, and it was actually so fun to watch. And I'm sorry that all of you that don't know, that listen to the podcast, that don't know what channel we're talking about. It's good that you don't. It's good. You don't need to go there.
And if you look hard enough on my channel, you'll find videos where I've called them clowns, and that I have proof of. They are definitely clowns. So anyway, let's go back to the phones. I did get a Venmo donation, Dave. And
right.
Yeah, I did. I just got one right now from somebody, and he asked me a question to ask you. So let me sign into my phone here.
And by the way, anybody that doesn't have Venmo, get the app, download it. If you want to, send Jeran something, it pops up on his phone. He literally has to stop talking in the middle of his show and read whatever you write. So you can get him to say like penis or whatever you want. Just, if you pay enough, he'll say anything.
It's fun. It says, keep up the great work. Hey, can you ask David if he has thought about making the sun, moon, and clock available for smartwatch? That would be awesome. Also looking for Dave's Venmo. Cool, thanks. Dave, what's your Venmo?
My Venmo is Jeranism at Jeranism.
No,
I don't accept donations. The watch and it has the same problem that the Android widget has. It doesn't have the capabilities of animating the moon and the sun's movements. If I did it on the watch, it would literally have the sun on the same place on the hand. So the question is that worth it? To have just basically it'll be a clock with the map, but it can't have the day and night. And the sun will be on the equator the whole time. Is that worth it?
I don't know. I don't think so. But you'll have to ask. This person's initials are SG. That's another thing. I never know whether people want me to say their name or anything. So initials SG. Thank you very much for the $5 Venmo. I do appreciate it. And if anybody else wants to find me there, it's just at Jeranism. I think it's very easy to search, and it's a cool app. I just don't think a lot of people use it. And I did notice the other day that it is part of PayPal, huh?
What, Venmo is?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I heard that, but I like it better. It's more fun. It's quick. It's easy.
It is fun.
And when I send my kids money or something, it's always on Venmo. We're going out with a group of people, and someone's paying the check, and other people are chipping in. Venmo is super easy, super easy to use.
Seems like it. All right, let's go back to the phones. We got the 530 area code.
But it's probably part of the evil machine. So don't give me crap for using it.
Probably. You're on with Jeranism Monday Night Raw. Who's this? Where are you from?
Hey, Jeran. This is William of Narnia, actually from Northern California. How you doing? I met you at the meetup.
Oh, that's right. What's up? How's it going?
I'm all right. It was kind of cool. I was a little disappointed that you left. I went to go get a buddy from the airport. He was flying in, but it was all good. I had a good time and got to flax smack a couple people walking down the walkway. They were looking, so I just jumped in and went for it, and it was pretty cool. And what else? It was cool meeting Chris Van Mitri because we all went and ate at a Mexican restaurant afterwards. About 5 o'clock, we all went and ate, and that was kind of cool. Got to talk to Matt a little bit further, the NASA guy, and he shared some things. And yeah, well, because I was in the Air Force and I was also Space Command, so we swapped stories about compartmentalization, and so it seemed like he was on the up and up. I thought he was legit.
I thought so. He showed me
that
his
was good.
He certainly had a NASA ID. He's certainly a subcontractor, and yeah, Dave, he told me that the satellite tracking is not even done by NASA; it's contracted out to a third party. So yeah, He talked a lot about the compartmentalization, and it was good conversation.
Yeah, and got to talk with Michelle a little bit more, and met Doc Michael. I got to talk to him a little bit.
Yeah, he's super.
So that was cool.
I've always seen him in the Globebusters chat. It was great to meet him finally. Yeah, cool guy.
Yeah, and then speaking of GPS, a couple calls ago, not the idiots, but the last legitimate call, I think, he talked about the GPS, and when I first had my iPhone, and this is probably 2008, which shows you I'm getting old. I swore I got an iPhone just a few years ago, but it's been 10 years now. But I got into geocaching to kind of lose weight and go. I would hike the mountains all around Northern California, and I would lose signal, couldn't do none of that. But I would notice my little dot on my GPS would still be there, even though I had no bars and couldn't call. And so I know that as a fact. Now, I don't know what that means, but that's what happened.
Well,
I have a theory.
I think
it might mean that you're too far away. It might mean that you're too far away to actually carry out a conversation, but that it can still keep your location.
Yeah, I think the GPS location is a much fainter signal needed than carrying voice.
I would think so.
So it requires less data and I see.
Yeah, like you could send a text message and not make a phone call from some places. Yeah. Same thing.
And I do know this was before before we got 3G up in northern, because it took the longest time for like my little town that I'm from to get 3G. I remember everybody had 3G for a while in Chico and the bigger towns, but my little hick town took a while to get it.
I don't even know if you noticed this, but when I was at the park there in Sacramento on Saturday, my phone, for the very first time I've ever seen, said 5G up in the upper left-hand corner. My iPhone. Never seen that before. It's always said 4G. LTE, but it actually said 5G, and I've only ever seen that inside that park in Sacramento. Pretty weird. So
I didn't notice that. I wasn't really looking at my phone too much.
Yeah, I was looking at it when I was showing people the app, but it was very interesting. But yeah, and if people don't, I never put my phone to my ear. Do you, David?
Nope.
Yeah, I don't. I've given that up a long time ago. So if you call me, you will always be on speakerphone. It's just the way it goes.
Yeah. Okay, and I've learned to do that too. In fact, a long time ago, I stopped using the Bluetooth earpieces too.
Right.
So won't do that either. All right. Well, it was good meeting you again, and till next time. Hopefully, are you planning on going to Mount Shasta?
Yep, I'll be there.
Okay. Well, Lord willing, I'll be there too.
All right.
All right.
And I may or may not be there.
Here we go again. Second answer, Dave. Thanks for the call. Appreciate that, William. Let's go to the next caller in the 818. You're on with Jeranism Monday Night Raw. Who's this? Where are you from?
Hey, Jeran. Hey, guys. What's up? It's Jeff from LA.
What's up, Jeff?
Straight out of Flat Earth T-shirt. What's up? All good. All good. I want to mention about that. Did you guys see that Red's Rhetoric, the latest video he put out a couple weeks ago?
Nope.
Well, I didn't. Well, I didn't want to I clicked on it. I didn't want to click on it just so he won't get that extra view, but I just did it anyway. So I wanted to see it, and I'm kind of like the way. If you guys look towards the end of the video, there's a bunch of boats on the lake, and it's kind of and it's at the end of the video. There's these two boats that you see with people. I'm like two people on one boat and this other guy on this other little boat, and you see the whatchamacallit, the boosters landing, and I was looking at the people on the boat, and they weren't even looking at the.
Dave and I are both
at the.
Dave and I are both wrong because we did see that video.
Yeah, I did send you that one, Jeran, and that's exactly what I noticed, that the people were not reacting to what was going on.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly, and they weren't even pointing and I'm like, isn't that supposed to be the highlight of the supposed launch? The landing, no one's even pointing. It's like if
somebody lit off a bottle rocket in that direction, everybody would be watching. Okay, a bottle rocket.
You have to remember though that he's
now you have these multi-ton giant things falling out of the sky, landing vertically, which is probably the most incredible thing anyone has ever seen, and people are just not paying attention.
Yeah, they don't care. I mean, you have to remember, is 11 miles away. Those boats are probably a mile away from Red's Rhetoric. So that boat's 10 miles away, and they could just care less. They couldn't care less. They just are cruising along, and David
it's because they live in Florida and they've seen so many launches. It doesn't matter. It's not that interesting anymore.
Yesterday's news, I guess. Yeah,
it's every day, no biggie.
Did we hear the sonic booms when they came down? I always have so many questions about sonic booms. I don't know why we don't hear them when these things take off, and why when they come down they're always that 2 or 3 booms, and they happen when they land. But then sometimes we don't hear them at all. In that particular video, I don't remember hearing it. Did you, Dave?
No, I did not. That's a good point. And why isn't there one on the way up?
Why isn't there one at the way up? I'll never understand that.
And it should happen very quick at the acceleration that thing's going at.
You would think. But no, I mean.
Oh, that's such a good point.
Yeah, we've gone through. Oh, thanks for the call, by the way. We've gone through this over and over again so many times that it just makes no sense that if people really believe. And I watched Blue Origin the other day. Blue Origin just send up a thing 20 miles or 30 miles, whatever, and it comes down and lands. And everyone goes crazy about it. And they're doing these tests over and over and over again to get it down to land these. But people need to remember that we're told 50 years ago that people launched not 20 or 30 or 50 or 100 miles into the sky, but 250,000 miles away. They launched people in the rocket. They never practiced it. They couldn't practice it. They just sent people in the Saturn V. It went all the way to the moon. It landed on the moon. People got out, played golf, drove around. Then they got back in, and it launched back to Earth. That's ridiculous. Everything that they're doing now, even if it's true, disproves the moon landings.
Right. If you watch today's featured video by Taboo Conspiracy, the maker of Sorry, Antarctica is Closed, it shows the moon landing and the ISS. It just totally disproves it. It just shows how it's actually impossible.
I believe that. Yep.
It's impossible.
Let's go to the next caller in the 905. I wonder who this is. You're on with Jeranism Monday Night Raw. Where are you from? Sorry, I know where you're from.
Niagara Falls. And love you guys.
Hey, thanks.
And keep up the good work. And take the next caller. We're going to keep it short.
All right. That was super short. How's the live stream going on at your channel? Okay.
Oh, yeah. Everything's going good.
Good. Your channel's still alive.
Oh, yeah. They can't kill me yet because even though I've only got 1,000 fantastic subscribers, not many people really know. So
you've got 1,200.
But
heading up.
What?
You got 1.2 thousand. You got 117 watching right now.
That's awesome.
Well,
and we've got over 3,000 on a combined TFR and iHeartRadio. So welcome everybody on iHeartRadio. Thank you guys for tuning in, as you do each and every week, to the #1 show on TFR on Monday nights between 6 and 8. All right, final words, Brian. Anything?
Yeah. No, keeping it short. Great that Scientific America. That was fantastic. And David, your last Flat Earth podcast was also really great to listen to. Which
you like the Paul on the plane commercial?
Both.
The Trump commercial was probably the best thing I've ever heard. Just pretty funny. Hey, we got to get Paul on this radio.
Paul doing that?
I got Trump.
Paul does the Trump voice?
No,
I gave him a couple beers and he did the commercial for me. If you haven't heard the commercial, it's during the break. It'll teach you not to skip over the break.
Right. It's good stuff. Hey, appreciate the call. Let's move on to the next caller. Thanks so much for calling in. All right, we got somebody from the 304. You're on with Jeranism Monday Night Raw.
Hey, Jeran.
Hey.
How are you? You made a comment earlier. My line dropped earlier, and so I missed a good portion of the conversation. And I came back on and was listening about the energy, about throwing the ball up in the air and the speed as it relates to climbing versus descending and decelerating. And if you carried the ball up to the top of a building, does it store energy all the way up? If memory serves me correctly from high school science, it would be building energy with each step you went up the staircase. If you went up one step and then just rolled it off of there, or removed something in front of it and rolled down the one step, it only had that much energy stored. If you took it up to the 50th floor and dropped it out, or just left it on the edge and it fell, that would be kinetic energy that was stored inside of there. I'm assuming that would
that's my thought.
Allow it to fall at a certain speed.
Yeah, I don't know how that addresses Bob's problem or Bob's point, which was, hey, there's this acceleration, so the acceleration must mean a force. And I'm just wondering, there is no acceleration if you drop a ball from your knee height to the ground; it just falls. So
sure, there is.
Well,
right.
How do you know that? Are you going
to you can watch it speed up.
For a ball when it drops from your knee to the ground?
Absolutely. When you drop it for the first split second, it's barely moving.
I don't know about that, but then again,
he would be.
You lifted it up to your knee.
There would be some acceleration there,
but there's
taking into good old calculus. Freeze framing something in time and place to measure a certain speed at a certain distance. I would assume that it would pick up speed from the moment it left your knee until the moment it touched the floor. Somewhere in between there would be a maximum velocity to where
I don't think it'll hit maximum velocity. It needs more. It needs a bigger runway to hit maximum velocity. It'll speed up a little bit. Well, anybody can do this test easily. Just get a.
But didn't give it that energy? Isn't that a kinetic energy? Isn't that a potential energy by lifting the ball to your knee height?
It is. Exactly. So the ball being at knee height or a boulder on top of a hill that cuts loose and starts to roll is now releasing its kinetic energy. And there would be a maximum velocity. It's just not the maximum velocity. It would be its maximum velocity between the knee and the floor.
Right. And then
ultimately, it has to have a maximum and a minimum.
Right. And the actual maximum, the terminal velocity is at a point where the atmosphere counteracts the falling speed, right?
Right. And the resistance equalizes and then becomes too great, and then you've got deceleration.
Right. Yeah. So
depending on the height that the ball is falling. Obviously, it wouldn't be that great from knee to floor, but from the 50th floor of a skyscraper to the ground, there would have to be a point of the resistance decelerating the falling object, so it's now overtaking it.
Right. And Bob's point was that if it's speeding up as it comes down, if there's an acceleration, then there must be a force. And I totally see Bob's point. And like I said, I tuned in to Nathan Oakley because I wanted to hear them address that point, and they danced around it. They never talked about the fact that there is acceleration. So hopefully tomorrow they talk about it a little bit deeper, because I still want to hear some other sides of that story. So far, I mean, Bob moved me over. I've always been somebody that has been set on this fact that I think it is a relative density, that there is no up and down. It simply depends on the medium that you're in. But after Bob said that, I said, well, wait a second. If there is an acceleration, then I do see the point. Then I can start to see where there must be some sort of force that's causing it to accelerate. But then I start thinking about kinetic energy. Then I start thinking about potential energy. And that's why I tuned in today to see if they talked about it. But maybe tomorrow.
Well, I didn't catch the show to which you're referring or what the debate or dialogue was. I just heard your discussion about it this evening during the first hour when I tuned in before I got interrupted. And originally my call was going to be to drop the tsunami hint, because I've mentioned to you a couple of times before to look into that, on how can a tsunami travel from basin to basin, from shore to shore, and keep bouncing around like dropping a boulder in a small pond.
Right.
How does that do that as it relates to 8 inches per mile square? Because it's got to be going uphill in some direction, some way. How does it get all that energy to climb it, then go back down and climb it again, that sort of thing? So I wanted to do a little follow-up with that, as well as I don't know what the deal is with the other guy who you were talking about that keeps calling in. Obviously, that would be an irritant. But I think the best way for him to understand Jeranism is to watch all of your videos. And I think that anyone that watches those cannot come away from them without feeling as if you are representing yourself and your channel with integrity and with strong character and with honor. I can't find a flaw in anything you say, and you stimulated a massive amount of research on my part. Obviously, it's just either complete ignorance, low IQ, low brow, or whatever on his part, or what, I don't know. I'm a little lost by it. I don't know what the big argument is, but I think you do a stellar job, and you made me start doing more and more of my own research, and I applaud you for that.
All right. Thanks so much for that call, man. I really appreciate that. That makes me feel good, and that's all I want to do is present my opinions honestly. This is how I honestly feel. This is what I honestly believe. You don't have to believe me. You don't have to trust me. I think it's stupid if you just watch my videos and say, oh, I trust this guy all of a sudden. No, you want to do your own research and look into it yourself. Go ahead, Dave.
That call was a 9. If he said that you also look thin, it would have been a 10.
Yes, that would have been the call of the year. No,
yeah.
But I wouldn't have believed him because he's over the phone. But somebody that called in that was at Saturday's thing would have been great. But anyway, we don't got very many minutes left. Let's go to the 541. You're on with Jeranism Monday Night Raw. Who's this? We can hear you.
541.
Jeran? Dave?
Up? Yes.
This is Tony, Flat Plain, Oregon.
What's up, Flat Plain, Oregon? How's it going?
This afternoon I was enjoying some playtime with kids in the neighborhood, and I was telling them to question things that they're told in school and whatnot. And then just a few minutes ago, I was visited by a Nielsen ratings agent of the government asking me about my television watching frequency. And I blew her fucking mind and told her the mind control was broken. I told her to look into the Tavistock Institute and where, her controllers, come from, what they're all about.
Yeah, great. Yeah, Jehovah's Witnesses learned.
I had to say, no, this was a Nielsen's rating agent of the government.
Right. Yeah, they check to see what your channel is, right, and that's how they get their ratings.
Right, but it was just a coincidence of it after I was talking truth to some young people. The timing of it was not coincidental. She only came to my apartment.
Jeez.
And so I had to tell you guys, I had to get this out on, to the truth community that they're listening. Just talking to kids and you have your phone in your pocket, somebody will show up and try to figure out what's going on.
Have you seen the movie The Oath yet?
What?
Have you seen the movie called The Oath?
The Oath? No, not yet.
Very interesting movie. I think it just came out, but very interesting, where they need everyone in the country to sign a proclamation saying that they take an oath to the government, and it's just an interesting movie. Kind of gets gory from there, but same thing. Some people come to the door because this guy chooses not to sign this oath to his government. He says, no, I don't want to sign it. I don't need to sign anything. This is not the America I grew up in. So check out that movie if you haven't seen it. Dave, have you seen it?
No, I have not.
Oh, man, they take away the call board all the time right then, and I think the caller's still on the call. So sorry about that, but yeah, thank you guys for tuning in as you do each and every Monday. If you do, we appreciate it. Dave, final words before we go.
That's it. Check out my app, the Flat Earth Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app. Great way to
find me, Jeranism.com, or the YouTube channel Jeranism. You can donate at paypal.me/Jeran or Patreon.com/Jeran. Until next time.
Later.
Hi, my name is Ella, and I'm 10 years old. I'm one of the millions of children born to parents suffering from the sheeple virus. Symptoms include the inability to think for